Heidi, there had been warnings before that the longer it takes for Treasury to provide that additional 2 billion rand to SAA that's needed before the end of February, and that there could be flight cancellations, and that salaries might not be paid as well. Now today, Flight Centre, we've seen that statement advising its customers that SAA has cancelled a number of flights. We haven't had yet anything official at this stage from SAA. Have you got any update on that?
Bradan, we have not yet heard from SAA in terms of how many flights have been cancelled, whether it's domestic, regional or international flights. However, we have heard from the spokesperson who has indicated that there has been a cancellation of certain flights and they will be issuing a statement in a short while. But the minute I tweeted that certain flights have been cancelled, many people had actually responded and said it appears as though the flights were cancelled late last night. SAA issued a statement to Flight Centre, which sells tickets on behalf of SAA, indicating that they are going to be cancelling certain flights. And just reading from Flight Centre Travel Group's statement, they're basically saying that they were issued official confirmation from SAA with regards to its flight situation, and certain domestic and international flights on the 21st of January were cancelled. So we are still waiting for confirmation from the airline. But I think, Bradan, this just speaks to the issue that SAA is going through at the moment. We understand that government did promise that 2 billion rand. Where that 2 billion rand is going to come from is still yet, we still don't know where that money is going to come from. And there was a big concern about whether or not this would impact operations. SAA issued a statement out yesterday to say that operations are as normal, and should there be any impact, they will then let passengers know. However, we have not yet received final confirmation from the airline as to how many flights are impacted and what they are going to do with passengers that have been impacted by this cancellation.
Yeah, as I said just in my intro to you there, I mean, some media reports are mentioning that as many as 19 flights may have been cancelled, but Flight Centre itself, as you said, has not really mentioned how many flights. Now, you are at OR Tambo International Airport. Have you seen anything, any boards, any on the advisories there, you know, where they put up how many flights are landing or departing? Any signs at all of any cancellations?
So, Bradan, we literally ran in here just to see what was going on. So we haven't checked the boards as yet. But if I can just move out of shot and show you, it is very quiet at the check-in counters, at SAA counters. And it also probably speaks to the time of day. It's 11 o'clock, so it all depends on what time SAA flights are heading out. But it does seem quite quiet. We aren't seeing, any boards as yet, or any indication that there is some kind of cancellation. I think as people come in and that haven't been notified, they will obviously be told that, look, your flight has been cancelled or it hasn't been cancelled. We will head over to the boards and perhaps check and maybe count to see how many flights have been cancelled. But previously, Bradan, and hopefully this will not be the same situation with SAA, when there was that strike that took place, many passengers were not informed about the cancellation of their flights, where SAA had to cancel a number of flights due to that strike that took place late last year. So hopefully there will be better communication to passengers about whether or not their flight has been cancelled and alternative arrangements made for passengers.
Yeah, you mentioning the strike, Heidi, that happened recently. I mean, some unions that have got employees affiliated to them at SAA are also worried about their salaries. And yesterday, the acting Director General of Public Enterprises saying they are still waiting for National Treasury to find that extra 2 billion rand. It looks like if this continues, if these flights cancellations are confirmed by SAA, if the number is as many as 19, there are more woes for the airliner ahead, and the salaries as well this January might be at risk.
Most definitely. I think the future of this airline is really in limbo, given the fact that they are in desperate need of 2 billion rand. Where that money is going to come from is yet to even be communicated. The airline is currently in business rescue, and while the business rescue practitioners have indicated liquidation is not an option as yet, liquidity remains an issue. The airline is in desperate need of funding. When you spoke to the acting DG of the Department of Public Enterprises yesterday, he also indicated to you that the 2 billion rand is only going to last until the end of February. And the big question is, what is the airline going to do thereafter? Is government going to continue pumping money into this airline, to try and save it, to try and salvage what it can? And the unions, of course, have reiterated time and time again that they feel as though this business rescue process is in jeopardy, and there are certain things that are not being done according to them, that it should not be done that way. They even messaged me this morning to indicate that they want to speak to us about the business rescue process and how they are really concerned about the future of this airline. So while operations are affected, as you can clearly see here with these flights being cancelled, there's also a big concern about jobs, about salaries being paid on time. In December, salaries weren't paid on time. So there is a very big concern, and hopefully when we get to speak to SAA, they'll be able to indicate and perhaps give clarity on all these matters.
Yeah, I mean, the SAA situation is a huge test for President Cyril Ramaphosa and the government. And you've got Tito Mboweni sitting in Davos trying to make a case for coming to invest in South Africa, and the state-owned enterprises are a big headache. Heidi, we're going to have to leave you to go and find out some more while we await that official statement of SAA about how many flights exactly have been cancelled domestically and internationally. That's Heidi Jokos, our business reporter on site at OR Tambo International Airport. News just in a short while ago, SAA cancelling a number of domestic and international flights.